Hey, Desties and Bride friends. Okay, so today you are here because you want to know how this Desti bride right here got married in Montego Bay, Jamaica. So I am going to tell you right now. And we are going to go through everything. This is Aiesha, and Aiesha was, I mean, hands down, my DIY Desti award goes to Aiesha. She was absolutely amazing. She's so hands-on with her wedding, and she shared it all with us. We talked about everything. We talked about ways to save money for your wedding. We talked about dealing with your vendors and your planners before and during your wedding weekend. So she gave a lot of really, really great advice. And I wish that I would have talked to her before my wedding, but instead I get to gift you guys with this. So make sure that you really pay attention to this. She gives you so many ideas and ways of customizing your event and making sure that you really have your stamp on it. We talked about the pros and cons of having your wedding on the resort versus off the resort. We both were married at Secrets Resorts. I was married in Mexico at the Maroma Beach, and she was married at the Secrets Wild Orchid in Montego Bay. So we talk a lot about the pros and cons of being on resort versus off resort, and we really just dug in and had a great time. She gave some really good packing tips too. She gave a lot of really good stuff. So I hope that, I don't even hope, I know that you guys will enjoy it. So if you have any questions, you can leave those in the comments for me. And then also any of the links and things that we talked about through this interview that you hear, all of the details are waiting for you in DESTILAND, so you will find that down in the description as well. And if you are planning your wedding, let me know. So give me that hashtag, I'm a Desti, and let me know when you're getting married and where you're getting married so that I can really help you. I want to get more interviews. I've already got a ton of them. But as you tell me where you're getting married, then I'll reach out and then we'll make sure that we're able to help you the best way possible to plan this destination wedding of yours. So in the meantime, you enjoy this interview with Aiesha. Aiesha, thank you so very much for helping and for sharing this information. It's been one of those ones where I've heard a lot of yay, thanks, great. So you're awesome. You guys are awesome too. I'm awesome too. We're all awesome, and we're just gonna keep this going. So as you know, this is a Desti marathon. So every single day, I will be sharing a brand new episode from season 1 of the Desti Guide to Destination Weddings podcast. And starting in January 2019, it will be a brand new episode every single day. Monday through Thursday, it'll be you and me giving you advice and tips and answering your Q&As. And then on Friday, it'll be a brand new interview. Everything starting for season 2 will be in video, so I'm so excited for this. I hope you guys are too. If you ever have any questions, leave them down there in the comments. And make sure that you subscribe so that you know whenever a brand new video is coming. There's a button right here below for you to hit that subscribe and then ding that bell, and every single video that will come out, they'll send you a little message going, hey, pay attention. There's a new video. Pay attention. More help for you. Help. So yes. Anyway, I hope that you guys enjoy. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Here is my Desti chat with Aiesha. Hey, Desties and Bride friends. Today I have a new guest. It's a Desti who had her destination wedding in Jamaica, in Montego Bay, Jamaica. I have Mrs. Aiesha Doherty. Hi, Aiesha.
Hey, how you doing? What's going on?
Hey, not much. Good. How are you?
I'm good.
You ready to talk about your wedding and go back down memory lane?
Absolutely.
Good, because that's what we're going to do today. So yeah, how did you decide to have your wedding? And how did you decide on a destination wedding?
I knew for a fact that I didn't want to get married inside. I didn't want to do a church. I wanted to be outside in beautiful surroundings. And I wasn't sure if Chicago had what I was looking for because there was a lot of tall buildings. I wanted natural beauty. So, I started looking into it, and the first thing I looked at was how much does it cost, as far as like let's see how much it is, for a wedding, like to register, things like that. And it actually was a pretty decent cost. So I started looking into it a little bit more. The hardest thing was actually picking an actual place to go because we wanted to go wherever and people would follow.
Okay.
But we ultimately decided on Jamaica. I was actually going to pick a different resort. I got married in Secrets, Montego Bay. But I never heard of Secrets. I never heard of their chain or anything like that. One day it was a pop-up.
Yeah.
And I clicked on the pop-up and I was like, this looks real nice. I said, let me see what's going on with the prices and if they had like the day or the month that I wanted.
Yeah. And
it just worked out.
How did you decide on Jamaica?
The rules of getting married. So we were leaning towards, I want to say Mexico, but you have to be there for a certain amount of time,
right?
A little bit longer,
ahead,
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then it was another country. I think we were looking at like Saint Martin or Virgin Islands. Same thing for them. It was like you have to be there for a while. I think Jamaica's only about maybe 2 days. You have to be there in advance.
Ah, okay.
So that kind of made sense for us.
Ah, okay. So you picked Secrets, and did you use their on-site planner? Is that how you were able to find out your information about the availability? Uh-oh.
So, couple things happened. Me and one of my really good friends, Nicole, we went to a like a bridal expo thing, real big expo in the Intercontinental Hotel in downtown Chicago. Mm-hmm. And I ran into a young woman that worked at a what do you call it? A travel agency.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and she was a great person. Knew a lot about traveling. She just came from a couple different places. It was great. Got her information. I contacted her. Her name was Beth, and I went through her initially. I went through her in that travel agency. Oh yeah. And I told them I want Secrets. I want this day, and that's that. The downside to this story is Beth got fired
from the agency.
From her agency, we did not know. We were trying to make a payment on our trip, and we were calling one day, and luckily my husband at the time my fiance at the time worked about a block away from me. And I was like, can you call and see if Beth is available or someone's picking up the phone? He called a couple times. I called a couple times. We got nothing for a couple days. And someone called me the next day around 2:00 at work. And they tried to explain the situation in a slick way. And I don't want to say I cursed the women out, but I was like, this is not the time to talk about this. I had my husband handle that portion. Yeah, I was at work. And from there on out, he had to speak with, we had to get a new agent. He had to speak to the owner a couple times. It was actually a really hectic experience because the woman Beth started her own travel agency and she was trying to pull us over. We really liked her customer service and everything. Yeah, but it just was like a personal riff.
Yeah, it's a lot of drama with that.
Right. And I was like, we shouldn't be dealing with this, but it was just too late. But we were also saying people are trying to pay you and give this company money
right
to book the trip, and they were they just weren't picking up the phone.
Is the company like is it a chain or is it more, is it?
It's a small woman-owned business
Okay.
in Illinois, in Arlington, Illinois.
Okay.
But I wouldn't go through them again
Okay.
if I. I mean, it worked out in the end, but
yeah, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. This is your wedding,
very,
so
yeah. But that's how we initially got the ball rolling. We were able to, after we worked that out, and that lasted probably for about a month or two, couple months of going back and forth with them and trying to figure out what was going on, because I wasn't the only bride that was booked through that woman as well. Yeah. So we finally, got the ball rolling. We made our payments. Everybody made their payments, and we were there. Thank God. But I did have an on-site wedding planner as well. She was amazing. I actually had two. They worked together in tandem. They were great.
Okay, well that's good. I guess how many people attended your wedding?
30, including us too. 30.
Oh, that's the exact same number that we're gonna have.
Okay,
number. Yeah, we have 28 guests that have confirmed, and with us it's 30. It's a good number.
Very good.
Was that the number that you, like, how many invitations had you sent?
Oh gosh, I sent actually 100 out.
You sent 100 invitations
for that's, you know what? Because it was almost like people were saying like, well, I can go. They thought they could really go. They were really trying to work something out where they could get there, but life happened and it got down to 30, which was a really good number for us, because we were actually nervous that it would be 50
what if they
people.
all came? You have to pay for those people.
Right, because the resort only, like, with what you pay, they only cover up to, I think, 20 people. Then it's I forgot what the additional cost is after that. But yeah, we were actually like, oh my God, it might be 45, 50 people that's gonna be here.
Yeah, especially when you invite 100 people. Then
My husband has a very large family too, so that's what happened. And we didn't even invite half of his family.
Wow. Okay. So yeah. Did you have a bridal party?
I did not, and I don't regret anything.
No.
Because my friends still came. I know a couple of people wanted to be in the wedding, but I was adamant about it because even though it's my wedding, it's still a vacation, I felt like, for everyone. It's still time off work or away from their children or time away from school. So I just wanted everybody to relax. I didn't want to have them do an additional cost, for a dress or shoes or hair or whatever. I just want them to come as they are. And it worked itself out.
Yeah, I can completely relate to that. Like I always say, like, I don't have bridesmaids, but I have bride friends. Like, I love you. You're not a part of the wedding, but, they're there for you. They're still your friends and the people. And you don't have to worry about bridesmaids, forgetting to be friends and, doing the things that some bridesmaids could be doing. And then, like you said, it's just an added expense. So... No, I can understand it both ways. It's like it's one of those things where you know your people and you know what you're looking for and what you want to do. So, I completely get that.
They didn't have any issue with it as well. They were just happy to be there. They were just happy that they were able to come. And I still have pictures of them, helping me put on my shoes, put on my jewelry, put on my dress. So it's still still was like, I had people helping me. It wasn't like it was just me.
Yeah. How did you deal with, I guess, the disappointment of, or if there was any disappointment of people that you like wanted to be there, but they couldn't come for whatever reason? How did you, deal through that?
We went into this as like, okay, there won't be, people that won't show up. Like at minimum, it probably would be 5 other people for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But we definitely went into it without any real expectations of like we won't get any gifts. We're not like no one will be there, no one's going to show up because they can't afford it or they just can't get time off work, something like that. Um it and some people came up to us and apologized, and it's like, no, don't feel sad, don't feel worried, like don't worry about it, like I'm sorry you can't come, but we'll bring you something back.
Right.
But right, because we got married at an adult only resort. We have a lot of children in our family, so what we did when we got back, we actually threw them a get together, just the kids that couldn't come.
Oh wow, that was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I mean, I know a couple of them wanted to be there. They wanted to feel included because they're usually included in everything. But we definitely wanted to just make something for them. I made their invitations nicer than my own wedding invitations.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, because for secrets, it's 18 and 21 and up. 18.
I think it's 18 and up. Yeah, because we did have a 20-year-old with us.
Yeah, it is. That makes sense. Because I know in Mexico, that's what it. I mean, I'm sure it might vary based off of. I don't think it varies. I think it depends on the resort. But yeah. Oh, so that's nice. Did you do it something like only for the kids, or was it like a reception that could include the children as well?
Just something only for them. It was at Dave and Buster's, so it was just a lot of them running around, playing games, something that they wanted to do. So it's just pretty much just something strictly for them. Like the adults just sat there and watched them just run around, have a good time.
So it's Aiesha and Will got married, Dave and Buster's party.
Yeah, I just said TT, Aiesha, and Uncle Will, like would like to cordially invite you to Dave and Buster's. At such and such time. So I definitely tried to make it fancy so they felt special.
Oh, that's nice. You guys are great aunts and uncles. Yeah. So you mentioned your hair and you not wanting to like have your bridesmaids have pay the expense for hair and makeup. How did you handle your hair and your makeup?
It was actually included in a package. So before I got there, I got a sew-in, and I was like the controversy because I didn't know how to wear my hair going into it. I was like, well, maybe if I'm just braids, or maybe I should just wear my natural hair, but it was on a shorter side, so I wasn't sure. So I just went with just like a basic sew-in so they can style it however I wanted it. And when I did get the sew-in, they did a trial run at like right after I got my hair done of like how I wanted it,
so you could test out the style.
Right. And she told me tips of like what to tell, like how they should do my hair, when I get there. So that helped too.
That's nice.
Yeah, and then the makeup they did there, and it was nice because they're darker skin like me, so
right? So they could match your colors. I was just thinking that because you're in Jamaica, you're like in a perfect spot for brown skin tones for sure, and hair. Yeah, you were in a good spot. Yeah, that was a worry for me, being in Mexico, and so I ended up. I'm bringing my makeup and hair, or I'm bringing my glam team with me because I just was too afraid of anything else. I'm sure that I could have found someone to do it, but it was just too scary. But that was the one thing, like we considered Jamaica. It was like if you go anywhere, Jamaica or even like the Dominican Republic, somewhere where they just are more familiar with the African American everything.
Yeah.
You just become much more comfortable. So that makes sense. That makes complete sense. So you said it came with the package though?
Yep, it came with our package. Yep.
That's great. That's great. Did you have to do a trial, or did you just like the day of they did it?
Just the day of, they just did everything maybe about an hour or two before I walked down the aisle.
Okay. And then what about your photographer and your florist and all of that?
So I was
DJ.
able to pick my flowers. Plain ones came in the package, but I got carnations because they matched the colors that I had. My colors were red, pink, and brown. The photographer and videographer, they were included in the package as well.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think that's the one thing that definitely, like, I'm glad that I picked a destination wedding, was because it's like everything that you probably didn't even think of, it's in the package. Like, or if you didn't think of it, they could put it in the package for you.
Right.
Which I was just like, oh, all of this is included? Great. Because this is stuff I was not even thinking about.
Right, yeah. I will tell you that all destination weddings are not created equal. I've interviewed enough people to know that package that you got is a great package. And I know that Secrets is great anyway, but say we're getting married off of the resort, so we have a completely different thing that's going on, where we have a separate planner and we are gonna have to deal with transportation, and all of that is a completely different place. So yeah, you're doing it the good and easy. I can still be a cool, easy breezy Desti way. So did you have any stresses at all while planning? Like, what was your number one concern before you got there?
My number one concern before I got there, that my mother wasn't gonna have a dress, because we dealt with a bridal company. I think it's House of Brides. I think they're a chain. I bought my dress off the rack the November before in 2013. And I had went for a couple fittings, and I kept asking them, like, is this dress ready? Is this dress ready? And they kept saying, like, oh, just check back. And I said, wait a minute. We're leaving October 15th. It's like October 1st. Like, what's going on? Like, the dress isn't in the building. Where is it at?
Right.
And they kept saying it was on its way. And I called my mom a couple of times. I was like, you have to go up there and see what's happening with your dress. She didn't get her dress until like that Monday before, Tuesday before. I was so upset. And later on, I found out that it was just a jinky company where she paid for the dress up front. It was about $200, but they'll take her money and put it towards something else that they were supposed to pay for. So the distributor is holding back on a dress from this company because
they didn't get paid for it.
They didn't get the dress wasn't paid for as far as they're concerned, even though her card was ran months ago. Wow. So that was a really big stress for me because
and you got your dress in the same place that your mom was too, but yours didn't have any. You didn't have any problems with yours.
Not at all. Not at all. Mm-mm.
And so how did you pick your dress? Did you decide to choose your dress based off of the venue, or did you just say this is it and this is what I want?
So I was trying to go with something really like breezy, summery, kind of like light, because it was going to be hot and everything. And my mom was like, no. And I was like, but I saw this dress. She didn't even want to look at it. She was like, no.
You didn't get to try it on?
No. She was just like, no. Do you want to go pick out dresses? I was like, fine. It was something I didn't even want to really do. I had tried on about like 4, and the woman was like, what's wrong? Like, why don't you like any of these dresses? I hated all of those. I was just like, this isn't it. And then when I put one of them on, I just broke down and cried, and I was like, well, it must be this one.
Oh, like immediately?
My mother had like pretty much like the fit was great. It wasn't like a crazy just white dress. It was ivory. It had the ruching. It was simple, and it had like a little bit of detail on it. And she put a belt on me. I must almost fell out on the floor. I tried
Like,
to
oh, I'm
go back.
gorgeous. I'm gorgeous. Look at me.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. My mother had like the biggest smile on her face
Because it was
when
what
she
she
saw me in
wanted.
that dress. Yeah, I still ended up trying on some more after that. My mother was like, we should just go back and get that dress. And I was like, you're right. I didn't get the belt. I should have had though. I was just excited about a dress.
Oh, well, yes, it is beautiful. So your
Thank
mom
you.
knows what she's doing. She knew what she was doing. Thanks, Mom. So, when you were you both, like you and Will, both on board with the destination wedding, or did somebody have to be convinced?
We were both on board. I know usually when we have an idea, we try to show each other like, hey, this is what I'm thinking this. And I showed him the numbers of like, this is how much it'll cost, to have this wedding, and this is the stuff that's included in the packages. So this is what I'm thinking. And that was before we actually nailed down a place. So
You kind of called a few
easy.
different places and got a good idea of the numbers, or how did you do that?
A lot of stuff is actually just on their websites, and then when I went to a couple bridal conventions, I talked to some travel agents there. Even after I had picked my travel agent, I still was just trying to figure out like, is this the right thing to do? Because they do give you time where if you don't want it, you can pull out totally. Because I was really
They
on the
do.
fence.
They give you a good amount of time too.
Yeah,
They
they
really
give us
do.
about
Yeah.
6 months, I want to say they gave us, maybe a little more, to pull out and see if you really want to do this.
So yeah, what was your wedding budget?
I did not have one.
Okay. Well, what was your total at the end? What did you end up? What was your damage, including
My
your
damn.
dress and your travel?
Okay. So my wedding, and I will tell you the best of my ability because I had so much stuff included, it was crazy. So the wedding itself, I want to say was 9,500. My dress was, I got a really good deal on it. It was about 400, and that was including shoes.
Oh wow, really?
Because
For
I
that?
got really cheap. I worked at Macy's in the shoe department, and I got a really good discount. I knew when the sales was going to be and stuff like that. So I have some really good shoes up in here. Like, and I just found something simple, something silver that would go. I was looking for a red shoe, but
No, I mean you said that your dress was 400.
it was, yeah, my dress was
Yeah,
400.
that's a super deal, definitely.
Yeah. I got it at like a really good like trunk sale or something they were having. And then my husband's suit was about 250. His shoes were, I want to say, 100. He might have even got it lowered because we said we were getting married. And then for us to go for 1 week with our flights was 3,500.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. So just we'll round up to say about 15. Roundabout. Okay. And did you? How long was your engagement? I guess.
Our engagement was about a year and a half. I got engaged May 2013. We got married October 2014.
Okay. And did you? So when people were making payments, like how much time did they have to get their money together?
I gave people about. I started sending out the save the date magnets in January.
Okay.
And when I say I was a DIY bride, I did everything. I made the magnets.
You made the magnets.
Yeah, with the pictures that we got from our engagement shoot, which my sister-in-law did, she did it for free. That was really generous of her. I designed the website. I only paid maybe about 20 or $30 for a year
Mm-hmm.
because I caught that on the deal. Handmade all of those invitations,
100
favors.
invitations.
Yes, I just would come home from work. I had a little station. I set everything up, and I just would do it. Ask my husband like, "What do you think of this? What do you think of that?" Yeah, I did like the design. I did all the design and everything like that.
And what was your inspiration? Like, how did you? Was it a Pinterest type situation or?
Yeah, it actually was. I just was looking on Pinterest one day and then I saw this really nice one. It looked like a ticket, a travel ticket. And I was like, I could do that. That actually looks nice because when I was looking for it to actually even purchase it, it was no longer available. I don't know who pins it or anything. I think they got it from Etsy, um, or Etsy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was like, let me see if I can recreate this, and it came out. Hold on. Can I pause it real quick?
Yeah. You're cracking up.
Let me get a couple things.
Yeah, get them, and I'm gonna ask you to take photos of them too. So yeah.
I didn't even think to show this, but since I got it in the house still,
Yeah, you gotta take
this is
pictures of them too. I'll post those in your show notes.
so this is one of the
Oh,
magnets
so
here.
you made that?
Just with the pictures that she gave us. Vistaprint is everything.
I
I'm
was just about
telling
to
you.
ask that. How did you do that? So you sent the photo. So Vistaprint is what you use for the save the date magnets.
Yep, I designed them in there. They're pretty
Oh, your
lightweight. They actually
photos are
weren't
so
even
cute.
that expensive or anything.
And those are a good size. Those are the big magnets too.
Yeah, I didn't want like a really yeah, I didn't want a really small one like you usually see. It's like cut in half or
Right.
like a little square. I want to make sure people knew
Right.
that we were
Yeah,
getting
you're gonna see
married.
this. This is gonna be right on the front.
And then
Is that the invitations?
yeah, this is
Oh,
the I don't know, the holder or whatever. It says you're invited in the
oh,
inside.
it does.
And and then this is the can you see that? This is the invitation.
Yes, you made those.
Yes.
Oh, they're so
Yes, yes.
cute.
And then the insert with the information for everything. So yeah. And then
So you were
when I
crafty. That's what that is. That's yeah. That's not happening. Mm-mm.
and also also even with printing, I went to Staples because they have a really good rewards program. Like when you spend a certain amount of money there, you get like a credit back or something like that. And I use that credit to like print even more stuff out
So
too.
did you
So
like? Did you
Staples.
design those in Photoshop and then did it
Um,
or?
um, it was Microsoft Publisher.
Oh, okay.
hmm
Wow. Yeah. All right.
I'll send you a picture because I did my own website. Like I wasn't playing any games. I
And
was
what
trying to
what
make it
company
as
did you
cheap as
use for your
possible.
website?
I used web oh gosh, it starts with a W.
WordPress?
No, not WordPress.
Weebly? What's that? Weebly?
Not Weebly. That wasn't out yet. I can't remember at the moment which one it is. I see it in my mind too.
Was it a
Let me.
magazine type of thing, like Wedding Wire or something? Or I'm funny.
It
I'm trying
wasn't
to think
any
of
of
all the
the
W's that I know.
right. It wasn't any of the free sites. Oh gosh. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Okay.
This is
But yeah, so you were so with DIY. Did you DIY any of your wedding favors and welcome bags and all that kind of stuff too?
yeah, I did. I used a couple of different websites. One of the main ones was Oriental Trading. I bought shot glasses, and my sister-in-law, she cut some vinyl for me, and with our names and a heart or something like that, and then I just etched it on some glass on the shot glasses.
You just etched it.
I am extremely crafty. Do not get me wrong.
Said, I just etched it. That's what you just said. I don't even know what that entails. I just etched it.
It's just a cream. Yeah, it's just a cream that you put on, and then it'll take to the glass, and it's permanent. When I tell you, I looked all this stuff up, because when you start to get into favors or personalized engraving or just personalized anything, the price just shoots up, especially with how many people we were thinking about bringing. And it's never, it's quantities of 10. You have to buy 8, or you got to buy 20, or you got to buy 15. Like, it was just, and I feel like if I have the time to do it, or I can make the time to do some of this stuff to save some money, why not? You know, it's a tutorial on everything.
That's true. That's how I did it. I use tutorials to figure out how to do a podcast. So yeah, I'm with you, sister.
Yeah.
So you etched your shot glasses. How did you end up getting this stuff from Chicago to Jamaica?
We had a few bags, of course, our clothes and stuff, and we checked our decorations bag, and that's one thing I would urge, like destination brides or upcoming destination brides to do, is check and see if you can, bring some of your own stuff to cut down on the cost, and then, it's your vision of what you want. So I had brought vases. I brought
So you packed vases and put them in your suitcase.
Yeah, and this is another tip too. I don't know what it was. It must have been the fact that I had a wedding dress with me at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning at the airport. But everyone was extremely nice. I was like, if I could carry this wedding dress with me so I can get this customer service all the time, I probably would do it. But it was amazing, and I told them, like, look, there's vases in here. I'm getting married, obviously, and they took care of everything.
Wow.
I just made sure everything was wrapped up pretty well. Of course, we still have to pay the fee, but it was just the largest bag that we could check, or you can take, or whatever, like a really large luggage bag. Mm-hmm. And it had the vases, the favors, what else? Table cover runners, other little stuff in it.
Interesting. So with the glass, did you just use bubble wrap or something to?
I used newspaper inside, wrapped it around, as well as wrapped it in some of the cloth that we had it into. Like, made sure that the cloth was a cushion as well. So like if it was table runners, or like the chair bows, like I made sure
if you're
that
moving. So basically, like if you're moving, yeah,
pretty much, yep. And she slapped a big orange sticker on it, like
fragile, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. And with your dress, you kept it in the garment bag?
Yes.
Was it heavy?
Yeah, I mean, after carrying it for that long, yeah, it was. Because I put the shoes in there separate too, and I think in that bag too. And my jewelry, I made it sure that it was like specific, like all the stuff for that day was in that bag, that garment bag. And when I got on a plane, they hung it up in a special closet for me too, which was really nice on the way there and back.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I've heard some of everything. Either they will do that, or they're not feeling very nice, then you'll have to pack it up in the overhead bin, which yeah, some people have had to do that too. But then apparently they have these boxes that you can use now too, but the boxes just seem weird to me. I can't walk around holding a big box with my dress in it. I've
seen that too. I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm waiting to meet a Desti that's used those. No one's done it yet, so I'm waiting. One day someone's gonna do it because I've got plenty of questions about that. How did you guys pay for your wedding yourself?
No, we actually did not. We paid for our travel and pretty much everything up until that point. And that happened just out of the grace of God. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was talking to my mom about everything and like we wanted to do, and I was just being kind of vague. And I was just on my way to work. Sometimes she'll call me because she's getting off of work, and she was like, "Well, I'll give up $10,000 for it," and she said it so casually. And I was like, and she said it as we are getting off the phone, so she knew to do that. Because she knew I was going to be like, no, what are you doing? Like, that's not right. This is my wedding, not yours. You don't have to pay for it. And then she hit me with a text when I got to work and was like, okay, 15. And I was like, what? I'd show my husband, and he was shocked. We were floored because it was just, are you serious? Like, because we were a little stressed about how we're going to pay for it, but we were going to do whatever to, come up with the money and everything like that. Like, at the final, if it didn't matter, we would have came up with it. Yeah. But she said, no, like, I'll pay for it because I don't want you to be stressed. Wow. And that was amazing. And that was very amazing to me.
Yeah. See, Mom, you know what? Thanks, Mom, again. Mom is getting all sorts of gold stars right now. Like, seriously?
Yeah.
I need to have your mom on here so she can tell people and help Desti moms out because, wow.
Yeah, because a couple of my friends, they just love her, especially after this experience or whatever that I had with my wedding. I
love her too.
Because even after, I was just picking like the most basic stuff, even if I said, no, I don't need that, that's just a waste of money. She was pushing me to just decorate more, just add some more flowers there, put something on the canopy, like do something,
yeah,
to make it look nice. So yeah.
Aww. Did she because she was a part of it, did she at all want to have any influence in choices that you made, like where and all that stuff, or had you already decided that we're doing it here and that was it?
We had decided on our own. She more so had an influence of like, maybe you should get these flowers instead of these flowers. Maybe you should get this entertainment or don't get this entertainment. That kind of thing, because she was willing to pay, and I was still kind of being on a cheaper side of it. She was like, no, it's fine. I mean, don't worry about it, kind of thing. I still was like, I still kind of went with the cheapy side, but I got some surprises along the way from the resort from my amazing coordinator. So
yeah.
So to go into that, it was a 2-day thing, 3-day thing. So most of the people got there on Friday. Some did get there a little bit sooner on Thursday.
When did you get there?
Wednesday, and I know my mom had got there on Wednesday as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And on Friday, we had a private catamaran cruise. It was about an hour and a half. It was about 2 hours cruise or whatever. And I was really surprised. It was just a long boat. It looks not a yacht. I know my friend was calling it a yacht. And it had a net on the where the floor
it hovers over the water, right?
Yeah, it hovers over the water. So it was really nice pictures. We took really nice pictures there. We had food. It was open bar, and we had a saxophonist or something. I was like, oh,
okay, we fancy.
Right. And they gave us like a little gift to say thank you first thing. They're choosing them or whatever. So it was really nice. It was really nice.
And how did now that wasn't a part of Secrets though. That was a separate thing, right?
That was booked through Secret. So when I told my wedding coordinator that's what I wanted, somehow she booked it through them, I guess through a company that they use. But it was offered in their, like, not in a package, but
like as an extra or something.
yeah, as an extra. Yep.
Okay. Okay. So what was your Okay, no. So you did that on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And then the wedding was Saturday?
Yes, the wedding was Saturday, I think around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
Now, how was that as far as temperature wise? You were in
It
October, so
hot as hell. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even know if I can curse. It was
you
hot.
can.
Hot. And they talked us out of having a reception outside, which we were like, no, we want it outside. We're on the beach. It's just going to be nice. They were like, no, your guests will be so upset with you if you have it outside. So we had the actual wedding outside, and then we moved the reception inside, which was a really good choice. It was a good option.
I like that they were able, they pushed for that though. That's nice because they
Yeah,
could have
they
just
were being
let you
honest.
do that.
Yeah, they were being very honest, which I actually like. So, because I don't live there, they know better than me.
Right. And then, so 2 o'clock. I guess that's more like a hotter. That's because that's like I guess
Yeah.
it's not.
Hmm.
The sun's like right up at that point, right?
Yeah, yeah. And it wasn't even really, it was sunny. It was pretty nice, but it was actually gonna rain, and
So it was
we
like an
didn't know
overcast.
that.
So it was humid.
Hmm.
Ooh, it's Jamaica
Yeah.
too. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
So, what did you do to stay cool, or to try to stay cool?
I didn't, you know what? I was fine. My husband was sweating buckets, but I was I was okay. I was actually okay, surprisingly. Everybody, they had umbrellas, and then I had one of the favors I brought was fans, wooden fans. So, and the
Did you make
hotel
those?
no, not those. No, some stuff I just straight up bought. I'm not gonna lie, but the hotel also provided umbrellas too. I want to say for them, for the guests, since they were sitting outside.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's really nice. What was your favorite thing about that day?
Besides getting married,
Oh,
the the beauty of Jamaica really, that you don't need decorations when you're there. Like, I can't make it up how beautiful it was. It was just I couldn't pick the more perfect place to
yeah.
have gotten married. Yeah, it was stunning, stunning every day. It looked like a postcard every day. It was beautiful.
Oh, you're like, yes, I did this wonderfully. This is all me. I'm so, yes, Aisha did this. So I'm assuming no regrets.
No regrets that I can think of, because I mean, even though we had some hiccups with the initial planning, no, I wouldn't change anything. I actually initially just wanted to elope in a place similar to Jamaica or whatever. My husband actually talked me into having guests.
Ah,
Yeah. And I mean, I wouldn't have changed that. He sees now that we've got married, like, why I wanted that. But I actually like the fact that people, were able to come, and it was a decent amount of people. And it
yeah.
was the people that was closest to us. So,
Yeah. Did you have any stresses with people with getting their passports and their travel and payments on time? Did you have to have
uh,
any part of that?
not the payments or anything like that. actually getting there because customs. We went through customs no problem, but we got there on Wednesday. Apparently on Friday it was about an hour or 2 hour line
Because
to
everybody's
get to
coming.
customs.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and that was something I didn't even consider. But I mean, it was based on when they could get there. But that was something that they had an issue with. So they almost missed the catamaran, the boat, because of customs. Like literally, right when they finally got to the hotel, they just had to drop their bags and then they were right back out.
Ah, well, at least they made it though, and that's a
Yeah.
good treat for after you're in customs.
Right, because they right, because they weren't really expecting it. They kind of wanted to relax and maybe walk around, but I'm like, nope, y'all got to go here. We paid for it, y'all there.
And then Saturday. Sunday.
Well, also on Saturday after we got married, we had a reception, of course. So in between, we had a cocktail hour. Well, they had a cocktail hour. Me and my husband took pictures on the beach.
Right.
And one of the surprises that the wedding coordinators did was they upgraded my band. So when you get the cocktail hour, you get like I think it's called like a calypso band or whatever, or like the usual like traditional
like little drums.
But I got like a actual like band where it was I think it was a woman singing, a guy on guitar, and a guy drumming
as they passed, like a live singer.
Yeah, like a live band. I think it might have been 4 people. I'm not sure, but I saw 3 people. And they passed them around a lot of food. And they had like an actual like open bar, and they passed them around drinks and stuff. My guests really enjoyed that. They really enjoyed that. I wish I would have been there to see that.
But you heard it was great.
Right. I came in towards the end of it, but yeah. And then I was able to get a sneak peek of what the room looked like. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. They did it right. There might have been a couple things wrong with the reception room, but they did it how I envisioned it.
Yeah. So they let you see it before everybody goes in.
Yeah, and usually I wish like when I'm a guest or I'm a part of a wedding, I could do that. I knew that was going to be the one and only time I could probably do that if I'm not planning something myself, to see how everything just comes together without people, like disturbing it, just to see. And then I was able to, say thank you to the guests, or say thank you to the staff in person, like to the chef in person, and to the bartender in person before people got there, and to the DJ. I'm wholeheartedly like, that's one tip for sure I would tell anybody. Please and thank you goes extremely far. And that's why the coordinator said she did some extra stuff for me, because I was so nice in the emails. When I spoke with her when we finally got there, I mean, even when we were in Jamaica, we actually hung out, I think, right before I got married or right after. And we ran into her. She gave me a big hug. Like we were at some party or something like that for their Independence Day. And she spotted me and she called me out like, Aiesha, like she was happy to see me. So I like, please and thank you, and just being patient and just all of that. It goes a long way. You'd be surprised.
That's great. Yeah, I think that's really great advice, especially, I mean, everybody doesn't understand that, so that's a good one. How did you stay organized? Did you use like spreadsheets, or all of the emails, the flurry of everything that you had? How did you keep it all together?
So I actually set up an email address for any questions the guests had. I set up my own personal email of just weddings information, and to talk to the wedding coordinator and the travel agent. And I kept a planner with all the important dates. Because there's a time frame of like when you have to send in your paperwork to the resort, and like the payment dates for me, probably like payment dates for the guests if I needed to send out any reminders. And I kept the websites written down, like where I ordered stuff from. Excuse me, because I knew even after this was over, somebody else was going to get married. And if they just wanted to know where something came from, I could, just like, hey, here's this website. I got this from here.
And you had no idea that you were going to be on a podcast and you can provide this to everyone.
Not at all.
That's why you did that kind of stuff. You knew somebody was going to need it.
Yeah, because I mean, that plan is 2 years old. I still have it in here.
Good.
Just in case.
Just for us. Just for us. That's great. So you're crafty, you're organized, and you're polite. And that gets you a long, long way.
Yeah. It did. Mm-hmm.
That's great. So what... Okay, I'm aware of the travel agent fiasco, but just thinking about planning a destination wedding in general, what is the worst and what is the best thing about planning your destination wedding?
I'll start with the worst thing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna go into it, but we did have some guest issues, guest drama. Not when we were there, but before we got there. And I was like, are you serious? Because it happened a week before we got up in there. When we got to Jamaica. So that's one thing I feel like is the worst.
Like people acting up or people not coming, or give me like a clue. Give a
I'm trying. I'm not to say any names or not to
names,
like the full not to put the full disclosure out there, but one of my husband's friends at the time, he was, when we let's say by September he was married, by October he was divorced, and he was bringing someone else. I was literally bringing my dress home maybe a week before he got back together with his wife. And now I have to change everything over because I had already had a list of people that was coming. I already had the nameplates and everything. I had to switch stuff out. And I was like, okay. I didn't really
do the travel and everything at the same time.
Right. Like he had to obviously change stuff over. I don't know how. I didn't ask any questions. I was asked politely to change names over and stuff like that. So
politeness gets you a long way.
Right. Because I was a little upset about like, okay, what is going on here? Because it happened literally like maybe a week before we left, or a little bit less. So it was like, wait a minute, what's going to happen when we get there? Is someone going to show up that isn't supposed to be there? Is someone not going to show up? What's happening? So that was one of the things. It was just issues within like the subset of people. Everybody else was okay as far as like getting along, because some people I have known for years, but they've never met each other. And that was the thing I was kind of concerned about too, about people clicking. But I guess it was just Jamaica itself. Everyone pretty much got along really, really well, and they some of them became friends afterwards too. So that was good.
Yeah, that is something to think about because it's not just a normal traditional wedding day and then you're done with it. It's a
Right.
full weekend or,
Mm-hmm.
usually an extended weekend where these people are going to be together. So it can go
Mm-hmm.
really well or it can go really not so well.
Right. I'll say the best thing was uh because I'm crafty. It was hands on. It was just a really good hands on experience for me. It brought out I feel like a lot in me that I didn't even think I had, like the organization skills, because at the time I had two jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I worked full time in the office and then I worked part time retail. And I did retail at night and then I would get out kind of late and I would come home and work on wedding stuff. I kept a planner with everything. I kept up with the dates. Um, I made sure stuff was sent out by a certain time. The politeness, I'm not even gonna lie, because it was times I was ready to snap off, but I just was like, that's not that's not the right thing to do. Um, so and I did a lot of research, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I couldn't really find a lot of information for anybody like me, and that was the struggle. So I
What's
really
like
depend,
me?
like me being black, being just an
Yeah,
African American girl, cause
that's why we're here right now. So yeah,
right.
just to show, and it's not it's not like only that, but I originally started my blog Black Destination Bride for that reason, just because it just we're out there, but we're not out there at the same time. We exist, but they're just not out there in the media. You don't see it. It's not that easy. It's starting to come more available now, but it's like it's a section. You have a black section of weddings.
Hmm.
It's like if you
Right.
look on, you know, any big wedding magazine, and it's like there
Right.
is like a multicultural section that exists. And then based off of that section, no, some places just have that section. And then the other ones, like even if it is a destination wedding, literally destination wedding magazine or something,
Hmm.
it's the same idea. It's like, okay, there's a section over here maybe, and you can try to figure it out. And then the black wedding magazines, which are coming out, there's a section for destination. So it's like there's nothing that exists where it's just like everybody. So I just felt like
Right.
the actual market out there is people of all colors and all sexual orientations and all
Hmm.
sizes, just everything. So why is it so limited in every
Right.
place? So it's like there's no club here. It's just like this is normal. It's everybody and we all do it and we all do it. We have
Right.
different budgets, we look different, we talk different.
Hmm.
So, but the one thing that we have in common is we want to have our wedding where we want to have it and
Right.
how we want to have it.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I totally agree. Because I have a friend now that's she's going through the process. She's a destination bride, and she came to me and was like, "I'm looking at these websites. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm glad I knew you. You were a destination bride." I was
right.
like, "You can ask me anything, please," because
Yeah.
it was hard to find the information when I was looking for it. I didn't know any destination brides of any race.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. As soon as now, when you told people that you were having a destination wedding, did you get any of the like the must be nice or what? Did you have any people who were kind of looking cross-eyed about it?
Yeah, my coworkers were looking kind of cross-eyed about it. But
That's
I
just because they
didn't
don't
care.
know. Yeah, it's one of those things. If you don't know it,
Right, right. Or like, oh, you can afford to go here. I guess they felt like it was like a lot of money when I got a better deal than some of them when they got married years ago. I actually my coworker, her daughter got married maybe a couple months before we did in July, and they probably spent 2 to 3 times as much as we did.
in Chicago.
In one of the suburbs, in one of
Yeah.
the nearby suburbs, like
Yeah.
Oak Brook. So, yeah, I mean, and truth be told, when you're in the middle of it, or you're um, planning something, because there was another bride in the office. They were like, I wish I was going away for my wedding, because they just seemed so stressed.
Yeah.
And that's something that I was trying not to be, was stressed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And going, yeah, and honestly, going away to another place actually made it less stressful for me, because it's just something I kept in mind. At one point I was looking at Secrets Resort website every day, because I'm like,
that's my
I'm
fiance.
here.
He looks at reviews and photos every single.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, just to keep it just right there. Like, I can't wait. I can feel the warmth of the sun on me. Like, I just want to be there. It just kept me sane.
That's your
So,
light at the end of the tunnel, or your
yeah.
golden pot at the end of the rainbow, on the other side
Right.
of the rainbow. Yeah,
Hmm.
that is
Yeah.
the beauty, I think, of the destination weddings. Like being a Desti, you are going to have what everyone calls best day ever, but with a twist. Like it's
Hmm.
you mix vacation with love, and you get something wonderful every single time. So
Yeah.
yeah. Well, thank you for sharing.
No, no problem. No
I
problem.
appreciate it. Do you have any tips? Okay, not tips. Give me one tip for a future or even a potential. If someone is thinking about having their destination wedding, and you can't say, do what's best for you, and you can't say, make sure that you enjoy it because it goes by so quickly. You can't use those two cliche.
I would honestly say make sure that it's something that you want to do, because there actually is a lot of things to consider. Don't get me wrong, like I had an amazing experience. I wouldn't take anything from it, but just make sure that it's right for you, that it fits you as a bride. And when you do it, make sure you just don't have any regrets about it. Make sure that you do your research, ask your questions. Like I said before, be polite to everyone, because you don't know what free stuff they can give you. I'm just saying, like, it doesn't hurt to ask either. So, because they cut some of the money out my final bill too. I noticed
Wow.
that. I noticed that it should have been a little bit more, but hey.
Go ahead. I'm taking you with me. I need to bring you. I don't see us getting anything cut. Actually, we did just find out that we have some extra credits for our hotel. That's kind of nice. So
See,
we're going to get a little
that's
something
good.
extra. So I was like, okay, hold on now.
That's good. Right.
But
That's good. Yeah.
yeah. So thank you very much, Aiesha.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
No problem.